This video is about achieving full marks on the 8-mark question on Unit 3B paper. That's your purpose question. So what do you have to do on this type of question? You need to identify and state the purpose of the source. You need to support that claim of what the purpose is using both the source and your own knowledge. To get into the full marks, it's a little bit more complicated. You're also having to analyse the treatment of material. That's to say, how have things been represented, perhaps what language choice has been used, does that portray the purpose, and or the selection of content. What has been chosen to be included in the source, or possibly what has been left out. Both of those things can reveal what the purpose of the source is supposed to be. So, the first thing to do is to identify the petition. I'm going to be using the purpose of this petition for the Jarrow Crusade. So you can read that by pausing and watching. The purpose is identified by this extract highlighted in blue. The petition is about trying to get work for the people of Jarrow. If you say that, you get marks because you've stated the purpose. If you support it with that quote, you get more marks. You get up into the 3 to 5 marks because you have a support from the source for the purpose. So, to explain that purpose though, to get the higher marks of 6 to 8, you're going to need to use your own knowledge, demonstrate that you have contextual understanding. That is, you're somebody that's been studying GCSE, you know something about this that people just reading the source for the first time wouldn't, because anybody reading that source should be able to identify its purposes to get jobs. So you have to analyse what the source is included and how it's included. So, the purpose of this source is to persuade the government to provide jobs for the men of Jarrow. That is a simple statement of purpose, that's how you start your answer. This is shown when it refers to urgent need, demands jobs without delay. This is because Jarrow was particularly badly affected by the Depression of the 1930s. We're starting to see a bit of our knowledge there, but it's not particularly impressive. It gets better when we do this. The purpose is achieved by highlighting the desperation of Jarrow, revealing that only 100 of 8,000 workers are employed. So I focused on selection there. Indeed, Jarrow is known as the town that was murdered in reference to the closure of the shipyards, which employed 64% of the town's workforce. Ultimately, the petition was futile, blah, 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 blah. But the important thing is I have used my own knowledge there to explain how the purpose of this source is being achieved, referring to what is included. So to recap on a purpose question, state what the purpose is, back that up by using the source and your own knowledge, explain why certain details have been included or why certain details have been referred to in the way they have, and how those prove the purpose or help that purpose be achieved. Do all of that for 8 marks.